Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Mumcot Ranch and Homestead. I wanted to just kind of introduce myself. I have had several videos come out, but I realized that I really didn't take the time to introduce myself, kind of give you guys a rundown of what we do around here and what our future plans are around here as well. So first off, my name is Patience. We live in central New York. We live on this beautiful 20-acre property with my husband Gordon. We both work full-time jobs, and we also run a homestead. And what happens on our homestead is we have several goats, we have a pig, we have several chickens, cows, and 3 labs. So what we do with our animals is I do have a Jersey milk cow named Daisy, and when she is in milk, we usually use her milk to drink and to make cheese and make butter. Mainly, we do like to stock up on butter as much as we can. Our other cows are beef cows, so we do use them, raise them to send to freezer camp, to the butcher shop. For meat for our freezer, we do sell some as well to our family. We don't have a like a market right now to sell our beef to the community. We probably could, because we do use US, what is it, USD or something, USDA or something like that. But right now, with the amount of cows we have, we're just consuming it for ourselves this year. In the future, we may do something different. As far as our goats, we do raise our goats. We breed them, so they do have kids in the springtime. This year we had 9 kids. A few did pass, so I think we ended up having like 12 or 13 altogether. And what we usually use our goats for is selling the kids. Eventually, I wouldn't mind getting into milking the goats and doing lotions and soaps and things like that. Just right now, I'm just not ready for that with everything that we have going on. I was hoping to this year, but we have, we had a lot of projects. We built onto our porch. My stepdaughter is graduating from high school this year, so we have had family up, and we, just trying to get the property into a spot where we don't have to have so much maintenance to our property. We are looking to expand our pastures. Half of our acreage is pasture right now. The other half is woods. We're hoping to get that cleared out, or at least underbrushed, and eventually my goal is to have the whole property fenced in. That way, we move cows from pasture to pasture. Sometimes we have to move them across the driveway that is not fenced in. So having that security that if an animal does get out, we're not in a panic trying to get them back into pasture when our whole property is fenced in. But, that's a 5-year plan. So that's what we do with our cows. We went over the goats, the chickens. So our chickens that we have them for egg production. Right now we have 22 chickens. 2 of them are actually roosters. So last year I did take a bunch of the eggs and try to incubate them. It was not very successful. The rooster that we have, I'm not quite sure how old he is, and I'm not 100% on how it works as far as if you have a rooster, what age do they stop, being able to have the eggs fertile, I guess you could say. So 1 out of, I think, 12 eggs that we did put in the incubator, only 1 was fertile and did hatch, and I believe that one is a rooster. It is a lavender Brahma mix, And so I am glad that he is a rooster. Some people, don't like roosters, but in order to grow our flock and then hopefully maybe sell chicks down the road, I do want a good rooster to be able to get the eggs fertile in order to incubate and hatch some eggs. Right now, actually, we have one hen that is very broody, and I thought, you know what, we'll just let her do her thing. Let's see if our hens are motherly enough to be broody and hatch their own eggs, because that would be one less thing that we also have to take care of. So that's kind of our animals. We have 2 black labs and 1 chocolate lab. They're actually laying behind the camera enjoying the porch. So I do have just a kind of list of things just to go through to kind of get you guys a little bit to know a little bit more about us, and that way I didn't forget. So one thing being, why Mumka Ranch and Homestead? So my husband and I got together back in 2011, and he grew up having horses, maybe not his whole life, but part of his life he had a horse. He helped with his grandparents' farm. They had cows, horses, so forth. So he wanted to get back into having horses. So we had found a barn that was maybe a couple miles from where we were renting, and we had gotten a couple horses, or a few horses. I think we ended up having 3, and it was like that time where we didn't know nothing about what we were doing. So we got 2 unbroke, I probably wouldn't even consider them halter trained horses. And we thought, we will do it ourselves. We can break these animals, at least halter train them, everything. That was a mess. My horse, her name was Jade, and we did end up sending her to a trainer. We did do a lot of work with her. She was a good horse. When we did send her to the trainer, she did come back not the same horse. I wasn't able to hardly put a halter on her. Putting a saddle on her became a nightmare. So we did end up selling her. My husband's horse, I think his name was Kryptonite. And that horse, once it got spooked, and it got spooked often, that thing would take off. Trying to catch a horse that is not friendly, is not halter trained, was a nightmare. And I'm actually surprised things didn't get worse, because we were on an intersection where we had it, and the one road was a busy road, the other one not so much, but whew, he would go, it was crazy. I'm surprised that nothing else happened. But anyways, so we ended up getting chickens at that point. We had goats. My dad came in with us, and he had a couple goats, and we did pigs and such like that. So where the name came from. So my husband, his last name and my last name is combined with, or my maiden name is combined with the word Mumka. So his first section of his last name and my end of my last name combined together, coming with Mumka. Ranch and farm, the ranch he just stuck in there. Most recently I had stuck and homestead at the end, because this really is a homestead. We have our animals that we use to provide for us. I have a huge garden that I produce our vegetables in. This year it hasn't been the best garden. Last year was amazing. I had an abundance. But then that kind of goes into what's it gonna look like moving forward for our homestead. And as far as the gardening part of it, I have had a goal for the past few years. I just really haven't jumped into it to be confident enough to do it. But I think next year I am going to give it a good try. And that is, I want to add a lot more into my garden. I know this year in my previous videos I said that I was going to be more intentional and not grow as much as I did last year. But that's kind of biting me in the butt a little bit, only because we've had a very late start in the year, and it's August, and we are now just getting stuff out of the garden. So one thing that I want to do is I want to grow my garden. There's a lot of room in my garden still left. I have a woven weed fabric, so I think I'm going to just continue to add more holes into it and to have more of an abundance of vegetables. And what we're going to do with the vegetables is I'm going to be more intentional on canning what we can. And whatever I'm canning, I want to make sure that I'm going to use. The first year that we had the garden and I canned, I did not, I thought it was a great idea. I was canning peaches when really we don't really eat many peaches. I was canning sauerkraut that we did use quite a bit of because we do like to have sauerkraut. Sweet pickles. I don't like sweet pickles. My husband, he'll have it now and then, but it's not, our top thing to have. So I had a bunch of sweet pickles. I had dilly beans, which we don't really eat dilly beans. So being more intentional on what I'm canning and what we're actually going to use. And then the rest, I have always wanted to do a vegetable stand. We have a very long driveway. Our road is off of a main road. So I think that we would have enough people coming by here to see it. Also advertising a little bit. But just doing like a cute little vegetable stand. Nothing too crazy, but also giving back to the community where it's not going to be a crazy price to get, squash and zucchini and cucumbers and so forth. So, making it affordable for people who can't have a vegetable garden to still come to a place that they can get vegetables. So that is something that I have for my goal next year. We have a ton of eggs. Right now I just sell to, my family, friends. Next year, maybe being more intentional on selling those eggs too. I may have to look into, I'm not quite sure if it's just something that I can do, like a vegetable stand and just stick eggs out there and whoever wants them, can pay for them. I don't think it has to be anything where when you sell meat, you have to have, that USDA stamp. So that's what I would like to do. As far as the goats, I'm still back and forth with the goats. Goats are they're great animals. They have cleared a lot of our land that has been overgrown with weeds. They have done a really great job with that. But when a goat gets sick, and then it goes down quick once you really notice it. We have had a couple, goats pass away over the years, and it's heartbreaking. And I know that is the point, not the point, but you have that on a homestead, and I think that's normal. But when you put so much time and energy into trying to get them better, and you just don't feel like it's happening, that's tough. And as far as many goats as we have, I don't think we need this many goats is what I'm trying to get at, I guess. So maybe slimming down our herd a little bit, regaining what we have lost as well. We have, like I said, we had a bunch of new kid goats this year, and we are holding back a few of the girls. That way they can get older. The main girls that we have that we are breeding right now are a little bit older, so I kind of want to stop breeding them because I don't want them to not be able to come back for it after they do have kids. So our goats are kind of on the fence right now. We're going to keep all the goats that we currently have. They're going to stay here until they can no longer, they end up passing. But, and as far as our chickens, I think we're at a spot where chickens are about good. So, that's kind of what our future is, what my future is. My husband has several goals and several things that he wants to do. We've been back and forth on our beef herd and what we want to do for that. At one point, we had a ton, I wouldn't say a ton, but for our 20 acres little area, we had quite a bit of beef cows. And I do like them. I do, their calves are so cute when they have calves. We do have a bull. His name is Oakley, and he was actually born here on the farm. I think he just turned 2 this past February. And he was a bottle baby for a short time, so I had to bottle feed him because his mom, I believe it was her maybe first or second time mom, and she really was hesitant on it. And so he became my bottle baby for a while until the mom finally accepted him, and, off hands there. He has gotten to the age where boys will be boys, and he doesn't really like my snuggles anymore, and so we keep our safe distance from him. And then we also have, some female beavers on the farm too, so he is with them now, so hopefully we'll get more calves. But as you know, cows do take a while to get to size to send them to butcher, so we'll decide on what to do with them. So as mentioned, we do live in central New York. It is just turning August. So other than the homestead, what do we like to do for fun? So this time of year is football season. Well, it's going to be football season. I think in a couple days is, the start of preseason. And so we are big football fans. So yes, we are Jets fans. And as you probably know, the Jets really don't have the best team, but once you're a Jets fan, you can't really switch just because you lose a lot. So hopefully this year will be a little bit different, but we do enjoy watching our football. It's something that we do look forward to every time this year. As far as in the summertime, we don't have a lot of hobbies that we like to go do, mainly just doing projects here on the farm. But like I had said, we're trying to get to the point where everything kind of can maintain themselves. We have a lot of flower beds that I'm kind of switching over from annuals to perennials. That way we don't have to continue to buy flowers every year and fill those in. They'll just, the perennials will just come back every year, and it'll be a little bit more hands-off. So yeah, that is who we are and what we do around here. And we look forward to having many more videos. This is new for us. It took a lot to start these videos, as I'm sure people can imagine. I'm sitting here on my porch right now and I'm talking to my video screen and nobody else is around. My dogs keep looking over every now and then, but so it is an adjustment when you're getting out of that comfort zone. So I do appreciate you guys watching my videos. Hopefully I can get my husband in here a little bit too. He definitely is a go-getter. So he, doing the camera does take a lot to place everything. It's more time consuming. So hopefully we can get him a little bit more on here too. But thank you guys again for watching this video and for watching our other videos. Hopefully more to come. I hope you guys have a great day, and if you did like this video or any of our other videos, please give a thumbs up. Please think about subscribing to our channel as well. I guess I'll backtrack a little bit. I guess we didn't talk about this. So what's the point of me doing YouTube? Well, first of all, what's going to happen, the way that I think of it is I can look back, this is like a journal, really. I can look back at videos if I can't remember like what kind of potatoes that I planted and where exactly I planted my potatoes. So, kind of just a journal to keep track of all these things, looking back to seeing what was the start of it compared to 3 years from now. What's this place going to look like and what we're doing then, and what things have changed, where our priorities have changed throughout the years. And also, when the time comes where, we may not do videos or we may do a lot of videos, it'll be nice to have people on this channel that we can look back at and be like, oh, I remember this, or, it's just a great memory as well, and when I'm older and my stepdaughter's older, when, my niece and nephew are older, they can look back and see what my life has been like and what mine and my husband's life had been like and the animals that we had, so that's why I do it. I don't do it for really anything else. Just pretty much almost like a documentary, honestly. So yeah, that's the main reason that I felt like I should do this. My husband actually was the one who encouraged me to do it. He was the one that brought it up because I do watch my own YouTube shows, and he's like, you should do this. We have so much stuff that we do around here. People would love to see it. And I'm like, you have to, I have to process. I'm a processor. So on some things, other things like I want it done right now. But I had to think about it because it's a lot, it's time consuming. We do have full-time jobs. and trying to come up with something that people will actually watch. So after I finally worked up the nerve to do it, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And like for the first probably like 2 weeks, I didn't even tell my husband that I had started it. And then I finally told him, he's like, about time. He's like, let's do this. So it definitely took a lot of internal encouragement of myself to be able to do it. And there's some things that I'm still super nervous to even do. But anyway, so that's why I'm doing it. So again, sorry for that off track there. So again, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Thank you again for watching. We look forward to seeing you in our future videos. Have a great day, guys. Bye.